Hi everyone, my name is Chris and this is my bucket list assignment. I want to start with my acts of loving and compassion towards others. Forgive me if it's breathy, I'm still recovering from my broken nose reconstruction, blah 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 surgery. Yeah. So anyway, my first step that I did for love and compassion towards others was I totally stopped consuming animal products and stopped using animal products in every way. I wanted to do that for a long time, and then getting this assignment, I was like, this is the perfect opportunity because I was so hesitant to do it because I thought it would be too hard. And I took it step by step in the quarter, weaning off of things like eggs and dairy, down to the point where even the soap and the beauty products I was using were cruelty free. And I loved it. I learned so much. And in the end, it was a bit of a challenge, but now my household, which is me, my daughter, and my boyfriend, we're all vegan and we love it. And we've just, started. There's so much to learn and it's exciting. It wasn't limiting at all. Like, you tend to think, oh, what am I going to eat? What am I going to do? It was really life changing, and knowing that we actually did impact the planet and we did help other living things. We all feel more connected. It was a really cool thing. It was one small thing I felt like we could all do to help, others. So that was good. The second thing I did was I started donating the junk around my house, things that I wasn't using or whatever. I started donating them to a smaller shop within my community called the Pink Ribbon Thrift Store, and they give about 50% of their proceeds actually go to breast cancer patients in our area in the Inland Empire. So it was really cool. Like, I would stop in there, at least once a week, or every other week if I could. And, people behind the counter, they are dealing with breast cancer as well. So it was really more personal and it was great. And even if you're just spending 5 minutes there being kind to somebody, you're helping them and they're helping you in return. It was really great. So I did that. And then the third thing I did was I stopped purchasing stuff from big retailers such as like Forever 21, and I started shopping at the Pink Ribbon Thrift Store because that also helps them too. So not only was I giving them stuff, I was buying stuff from them as well, because I did the research. And if you get a cheap $5 shirt at some place like Forever 21, that's because the worker that made it didn't get paid their fair share. And so it's a huge thing to spiral down, but it was one small thing that I could do to maybe help many other people get a step in the right direction of a fair wage or something. And I was benefiting the thrift store. And then the last thing that I did was more practical and more direct and instant. Was I spent more time with my family. I don't live with my mom or dad or anything, so I don't see them as often. And so I just took the opportunity to spend more time with them. I have a video of me and my mom at her house, and she was making desserts and bouquets for her Elks Lodge for her veterans dinner and her Purple Pig event. So that was really cool. And yeah, all in all, I had a really great experience with it. Next, I'll move on to my acts of love and compassion towards myself. So yeah. Okay, so for my acts of love and compassion towards myself, it was a little more difficult. I'll start with like the most superficial one. Was I decided to like get my hair done because I had messed my hair up doing it for myself. So I put the time in and I let a friend who's a professional fix it, and it's totally amazing now and healthy, and it's on the road to recovery. So that made me feel good about, my outside. And then my second thing I did was I'm in a band, and I noticed that like I critique myself on stage and I'm in my head a lot. And so I made a real effort to be compassionate to myself on stage and to just, make a real effort to, while I'm up there, just to live in the moment and be as joyful and grateful as possible for having those opportunities and to not let myself get in the way. And I'll put a video at the end of my latest show where we're just really having a good time, and it really was different throughout the quarter. Like it started hesitant and just built up to like a really fun time up on stage. We performed almost every week of the quarter. There was a notable difference. That was really cool. And then my third thing was a little harder to document. It was to be nicer to myself because I'm so critical of myself, and then having the surgery and not being able to be mobile a lot. Usually in these circumstances, I would expect myself to like be right out of bed and going and working out and being on top of it. And if I couldn't, I'd be like, come on, fat ass, like let's get going. But this quarter, I said, no, I'm gonna be compassionate to myself and let myself heal. And I was so lucky because my environment here is so loving with my daughter and my boyfriend. They're so supportive, and if they ever hear me putting myself down, they're like, stop it. So it got to the point where maybe in the beginning I would verbally put myself down, and now at the end of the quarter I catch it, and I know that whatever I'm thinking is just a thought and it doesn't necessarily even come from me, and I can just dismiss it as that. And it's been really great because it's affected the way I act about myself, the way I hold myself, the way everything. So then the fourth thing is it was a surprise because I had something else on my list, but this event happened just the other day, and I realized that this was the biggest act of love and compassion towards myself, and it happened unexpectedly. And it was something I've always wanted to like transform. And I know it sounds like crazy and big, but I thought, oh, it'll happen later down my journey or something, and I wasn't looking for it. But when I went to go visit my mom for one of my acts, she kind of started, criticizing me at the end of my visit. And essentially, like, I don't know if she meant to, it was the way she was raised or whatever, but she just started to put me down a lot. And that's how I was raised. And then having taken this course, I realized this was a pattern. And although it hurts, to hear these things from my mom, pretty much calling me a loser, what am I going to do with my life, trying to scare me into things, and I feel like I'm moving away from that style of life. I left her house feeling a bit of shame and guilt, and I cried a little bit, and I got home, and everything that we've been learning in this quarter, with all the books we're reading and videos we're watching, I cried out to something or someone. If those things that my mom are saying about me are the way that I'm supposed to live my life, I don't want anything to do with it. And I heard this voice say, you don't have to. And I realized the person that I've been wanting to become, I can be in this moment. And it was such a beautiful moment because I no longer felt ties to the way I was raised, to the traumas that I've had in my childhood and my adolescence. I did some meditation and yoga afterwards and had been trying to let it go even more, but I forgave and found compassion for other people that have, put me down or what, including my mom, and I just became so much lighter, and it was something that I really didn't expect. And I want to thank you, Mary Fong, for this course, because I would have I would have never had this opportunity to grow so much as a person, and I'm just so thankful. So in the end, I got the biggest surprise at the end of this project. I wasn't even looking for it, and I thank you so much, because things are so different now and so much better, and it was the greatest gift of all. I'm starting my video so long because I didn't expect that to happen, but it did. And I didn't think it was going to happen to me when you were talking about transforming and stuff.
and growing. I didn't think I was gonna, and I totally did. And thank you so much. This was like beyond a class, this was life. So I love you. Thank you.